We have the 37mm Tsuyosa, finally. To be honest, now that it's like in front of me, I don't really know how I feel about it. Am I happy that Citizen did this? Yes. But am I excited about this release? Not really. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you think that Citizen should have released this 37mm version alongside the original one a couple of years ago? Like, if the goal was to sell more watches, don't you think it would have been more impactful to people to have the option to buy the 37mm right away? I don't know. What do you guys think? Maybe I'm just like missing something here, but I think that that would have been the play. It feels like they're just kind of following suit with whatever Tissot is doing with the PRX. Release a 40mm and then a couple of years later, if people are still interested, release a 37mm or like a smaller variant or something. But yes, this is the same exact watch as the original. There's a couple of differences which I'm going to point out to you. One of them is actually a nice upgrade, and the other ones are just kind of like wear experience related. So if you have a 7-inch wrist, I don't think that this watch is going to fit you very well. The Tsuyosa wears pretty true to size. So let me show you a couple of examples. This is what the original case looks like on a 7-inch wrist. It looks nice versus a 6.5-inch wrist. Now you're kind of pushing the envelope a little bit. Now this is what the new 37mm version looks like on 6.5-inch wrist versus the 7-inch wrist. Now, if you notice on the 7-inch wrist, it kind of starts to wear a little bit too small for a sports watch, which is kind of funny because the PRX 35mm variant actually wears a lot larger than this being 37mm. Like the PRX doesn't look too awkward on a wrist. You can kind of get away with it. Really quick, guys, if you are getting value from this video, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It really does help to support the channel. Okay, anyway. Moving on. Differences between the original and the 37mm version. The first one is going to be the movement. Now, this does have the same exact movement. It is the Miyota 8210. However, Citizen is using an updated version of the 8210. This one hacks. I know, the first one didn't hack, like what the heck? But this one does. And the new 40mm versions of the Tsuyosa that have been coming out also have that updated movement, just in case if you are wondering. But yes, hacking is very nice. We like that, although I think we should have had that in the first place. The second thing that is different is about the crown. So in the original version, the crown is a little bit more recessed in there. It kind of makes it hard to wind, makes it hard to set the time. It's just a little bit awkward. This one, although not a great improvement, is a little bit more protruded. I'm not really a fan of the 4 o'clock crowns in the first place, but if I had to pick the best one, I would say that a little bit more protruded is better because it's a little bit more ergonomic for you. You still kind of have to do the side finger thing to wind the watch, but all in all, I think that that for me is a plus. The second difference is going to be the bracelet. And yes, it is the same exact bracelet. However, on this smaller size, the presidential bracelet actually looks a little bit more elegant. It looks better in my opinion. It does taper slightly down to the clasp, which is not great. I think that Citizen should have kept the butterfly clasp that they did on the small second Tsuyosa. I think that that was a better clasp than this, although this one does have micro adjust. And really, it's just a simple stamped clasp. You can tell this is definitely where Citizen was cutting corners. One thing that I really don't like about the clasp, which I'm going to try and kind of get a close-up of this, but really it is just the fact that the tolerance of the locking mechanism it's so off. Like it's just way too loose. Yeah, I don't like that. Like some people really liked this clasp and they got upset at the butterfly clasp, which looked better. But I think it was just because of the micro adjust. I don't know. I don't understand people. I don't like this clasp. Butterfly was better. Something else that I noticed, and I'm leaving this one for last just because like I think this is just me. I don't know if anybody else is thinking this, but on the original 40mm Tsuyosa, the hands were just like a little bit too small in proportion to the actual dial itself and also in proportion to the hour markers. It was just too small. Like maybe it's just my eyes, but I think that on the smaller dial, the hands actually fit better. The hands look better in proportion to the size and in proportion to the hour hour markers, which I'm looking at it and it doesn't bother me at all. On the other one, it did bother me. That's one of the reasons why I didn't like the original release. Other than that, everything is exactly the same. You have the same Cyclops, you have the same case, the same finishing, sapphire, crystal, everything is exactly the same. Same 50-meter water resistant, same loom. This is literally just a reduced size for people who couldn't buy the 40 millimeters. That's all that this watch is. Curious to know your thoughts on what you guys think about this Tsuyosa re-release of 37 millimeters. Is it good or bad? I mean, do you guys care? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. If Citizen is following Tissot's example, then what can we expect next? I think that definitely we're gonna see a reduced version of the small seconds, which actually I think would look really cool because that watch is a little bit more dressy. I would love for Citizen to make a 38.5 millimeter version of this with no Cyclops, no date at all, and double markers at the 12, double markers at the 6, 3, and 9, kind of like the 2020 release of the Oyster Perpetual. I mean, if that's the vibe that Citizen was going for, they should have just gone all the way with that. I think I would be really excited about that one. By the way, if you guys are curious as to how accurate this specific movement is, on my watch, I'm clocking it in on my analytics app at plus 15.7 seconds per day. It's sitting at about a plus 13 second deviation. And it's funny because when I started wearing it, I noticed that it was losing time. And actually within the first couple hours, it was already minus 4 seconds. So my analytics app was predicting a minus 25 second per day session trend, which, you know, was kind of disappointing. And then the funny part is that I just realized I forgot to wind it. So I wound it completely, and then I set it face up for a little bit and it regained those 4 seconds. So huge difference. As I was wearing it the next day, it started to gain all that time back. But the deviation and all of this kind of confused the app, and it was giving me these notifications: irregular timekeeping patterns detected, significant accuracy issues detected. Obviously, it went from minus 25 to plus 15 seconds. It says position affects accuracy by 40.1 seconds per day. So obviously, it's not taking into account the fact that I didn't wind it, but it was just really interesting to see. So my current session analysis is latest rate of change is sitting at plus 17.3 seconds per day. Seems to be doing minus time on the wrist as compared to the crown down position and the face up position. So it's all really interesting. I'm gonna finish this session in the next couple of days and hopefully get some more analytics on this. Comparing it to my current Omega session, my Omega is doing great, plus 2 seconds per day. So pretty happy with that. By the way, if you guys are curious about this app, it is an app that I'm currently developing and creating myself. I am a huge watch analytics nerd, so stay tuned for that. I am going to be making it available to you guys. Maybe I'll share some more details about that in the future sometime. But anyway, guys, that pretty much covers it for this video. This is just basically like my first impressions of this watch. I'm going to do a daily driver test after I wear it for a couple weeks, going over in more detail the movement, the design, everything. But that pretty much covers it, guys. Thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more. And thank you guys for all the support that you guys have given me, guys. All right, so until next time, bye.